Hey folks, today we're going to finish up the Life is Better with a Dog album, and for this album we're using the My Dog Collection Kit from Echo Park. As always, any materials that are still available in a first run store are going to be listed down below in the description section. Let's go ahead and get into it. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. I release new videos every Sunday and Wednesday. So for the last video, we finished with the cover of the album. All that is left is a little bit of decoration on the individual pages, matting the gussets, and adding a little insert that goes here. And in retrospect, if I was going to do this all over again, I would do the pocket with 65-pound cardstock. When the album is closed like this, there's a little bit of weight resting on it, and the 65-pound cardstock just is not holding up quite as well. Hopefully it'll hold up a little better when the insert is inside. So for the insert, we're going to start with 5 pieces of 65-pound black cardstock. And we're going to trim the 8.5-inch side down to 8 inches. Yes, we're going to trim that down to 8 inches. And we're going to trim the 11-inch side down to 10 inches. To complete this piece, you're going to need a trimmer, an awl, AWL. You might need a little hammer, depending on your arm strength. You're going to need some twine, or this is just regular cord, and you're going to need some needles with pretty large eyes. To start off, let's go ahead and trim the 8.5 by 11 down to 8 by 10. Next step, we're going to fold each of these in half and fit them all together. These all ended up being just a little bit off square. That's okay. If you need them to be square, you can always put them back in the trimmer and trim them down a little bit. So we're just going to nest them all together like this. This part is easier if you've got some binder clips that you can use. I am going to attach 4 binder clips to just keep the paper from moving. So now the inside pieces won't slide around underneath as I work. I'm going to eyeball the center here, and I've got this flipped face down on top of a self-healing mat. I'm going to eyeball the center here and position the awl over the crease and just press down. Actually, that's not the center. That's a little closer to the center right there. And if you need a little more oomph, you can always grab a small hammer and just tap. This one has a rubberized back there, so tapping on it's not going to hurt it. So I don't know if you can see that, but the awl is starting to poke through there. We just want to force that through a little bit, widen the hole so that we've got enough to get the needle and the thread through. And I'm going to make 4 more holes. Measure out the thread that I want to use and make sure that I don't have too much. I'm going to start with a little bit of a tail because I think I'm going to want to dangle some charms off of here. I'm going to give it, say, that much tail, and then I'm going to loop between the holes 3 times. That will give me ample thread to complete this last assembly step. Some people start in the middle, and that's fine. I'm going to start this one at the top. And pull that through to the center. And we're going to leave that much dangling for charms or whatever we want to do. And I'm going to go back through this middle one here, or this second one, come back through to the outside. Back in the center, and I'm going to pull tight. So I've got a grip here, and I'm pulling tight here. Back to the outside. Pull tight. Back to the inside. And now I'm going to go back up and back through this hole to the outside, and I'm going to be, if you're working with looser threads, this is a pretty tightly twisted thread. The chance of me splitting it is pretty minimal, but some threads like embroidery threads and crochet threads aren't as tightly twined, so be careful not to split your threads. Let's go back through this hole, second from the bottom, back to the outside. We're gonna have to keep that tight. Make sure that's good and tight there, and tighten that up. Now we're going back in through the center hole. Tighten that up. Back out through the second from the top. And we can just tie this off. And we've got a couple of tails here that we can attach beads and charms and other things to if we would like. Right, our little insert notebook is done. We're going to do a little bit, not so much, not the kind of color blocking that we did, say, in here, but kind of similar. I think I'm going to do some layering. Let's see, how wide do I want to trim this? I think I want to trim this to 4 3/4 inches wide. I like these clouds. I think we're gonna put that on the top. So let's go to 4 3/4. And I also like the look of this red, so we're going to use this as well. Also trim to 4 3/4. I know I want this 4x4 in the center. Trim that up. I'm going to trim a narrow strip of this pattern paper to hide where these two pieces are going to meet. So let's go with 1/2 inch wide. And we want 4 3/4 inches long. Also going to need to trim some of let's trim probably about 1/4 inch off of each of these. I'm going to go not quite 1/4 inch. And I'm just kind of eyeballing not quite 1/4 inch. I'm actually going to snip this in half. If I can find my scissors. Yes. Let's go ahead and get these laid down. I'm going to lay the red down on the bottom. Alright, so by snipping this piece in the middle, it allowed me to position these to where they better cover up the seam between these two papers. And I used glue just because it's going to be laying on top of these two papers, but it needs to connect to the base. So liquid glue is better for that than using the ATG. And if you want this to stand out a little bit more, what you can do is go around the edges with some ink, any kind of distress ink. I think walnut stain would probably look pretty good. Probably also the broken china. Maybe even the new robin's egg blue. So I went through once, came back around, went through one more time, and now it's created this loop. I'm going to go through the loop to tie a knot. That'll hold that charm right there at that particular spot. For this one, if it slides a little bit, it's okay. I'm just going to go through one time, come back around, and go through one more time. Now we're going to work on the mats for the gussets. We've got the large gussets here on the album spine. We've also got smaller gussets on each of the pages, just about. So we need mats to cover, these are 3/4 inch gussets, and we've got 1/2 inch tabs here where the different pages are glued into the spine. And we've got 1/4 inch gussets where the different elements of the page are worked together. So we're going to need 1/2 inch gussets for this section, 1/4 inch gussets, 1/2 inch mats to cover the 1/4 inch gussets, 1/4 inch mats to cover the 1/2 inch gussets, and 1/8 of an inch mats to cover these smaller gussets here. When I trim 1/8 inch mats, I trim 50% more than I think I need because I almost always end up underestimating how much I need for the 1/8 inch mats because I forget how many 1/4 inch gussets I have spread throughout this album, or any album that I put together. So we're gonna get going on some of the embellishments. We got a couple of boo-boos to cover up and just some general embellishing and making it pretty to do. And I had some that I put together previously, so let's see what we've got. Plus we've got the sticker sheet. So I know I want to do something on the front of this little pocket here. I'm just not sure what. Let's see what we've got on the sticker sheet. You know what? This is a perfect spot for this puppy love sticker. It's nice and bold, so it'll stand out. And it fits almost perfectly right in between them. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I release new videos every Sunday and Wednesday. And I'm not sure what the next album is going to be, but the next video is going to be a flip through of that album. I went to Tuesday Morning a couple of weeks ago and found 3 collections that I really liked, so it's going to be one of those. I will see you guys next time. Bye.